My controller has a turbo, so it's what I'm using for jump. You can see I'm going pretty slow. To optimize this, add a turn to it. If you just get something to hold that button down or, you know, a macro to do it, you can see we're jumping a lot more frequently. I forget how long it took me to max out. Here's the problem though. Here in the prologue, you start off at a certain level. When you get this to 30 on screen here, you're only at level 20. So then you need to like count. It'll say, you know, it'll proc in the screen level 30, level up, and then you'll keep jumping and then it'll say level 30, level up, and it'll do that all the way until you're maxed, and then you won't get any more level ups, obviously. You can do this now if you want it absolutely at the beginning, or you can do it at Bajena's or in Troskowitz. It's really up to you. I don't think it's worth trying to do much with Hans here. I did try to abuse him for strength and sword. It didn't seem to work. If you're going to do the exploit, you can try putting your money in here with the Easy Riders exploit. You can come right over here with a horse and grab this money. So then you can start off with some money to buy yourself some gear. There's definitely some tricks we could do here, but I think it's probably not worth the effort. So I suggest just getting into the exploit, which is going to be, you know, distract this guy with a rock so he turns around. And then once he does, just run. Now that we're through, you can see Hans is moving. Right, so he's going to take a minute, but he'll get here. Just trigger him. He goes back here. I suggest a save quit right here and come back just in case you mess this up. But also, if you want to take a few risks in the Nomad camp, depending on what level of geared up you want to be. So just run here, jump up here. So all the enemies are gone. And you just want to run down to the Nomad camp, and you can now jump over because of the exploit. And then you've got some decisions. It's nighttime now, so you can't do the Tomcat yet. You're going to need to be daytime to do Tomcat. If you're going to do thievery in this playthrough, if that's something that's important to you, Whitebeard here has a shop. You can kind of front load your risk. You're after his keys. Here's one set. Let me check if this worked. If this was the right key. He's got two of them. Okay, so this was the right key. And that's going to get you started with some arrows and a dagger, and most importantly, some lockpicks, 41 of them, in fact. You'll also get Quiet as a Cat and some potions. After that, come on down here. We want to get into this chest here. So we need to pickpocket a key off of one of these guys. So then all we need to do is grab all this. So that got us, you know, 2 maces to get started, some shields, some bows, even more arrows. Now, if you want to go ahead and pickpocket the rest of them, they've got a lot of repair kits on them, if you care. That's pretty low risk, what we just did. Then you could take this horse, ride around the pond, and grab the 1403 Groshen if you want it. So there's a huntsman in Trotsky Castle. Now, we have the 3 cumin bows, but we can get a crossbow real quick, too. Come to the quarry. Come on down here. There is a schnapps here if you want a bonus schnapps. Can't use it right now, but you've got it for later. Guy's sleeping here. Rob him for his key. And then you open this up, and you see you can get an axe, but you got 2 crossbows and a low level, right? Well, 7. Fairly low level. 210 Groshen. Marksman kit, that's pretty helpful. But we're going to go ahead now and get arrested in the way that's going to be least impactful, which is going to be throwing stones. Submit to the bailiff. And that's going to send us from there to here. But now what we're going to do, let's stash our gear. There's a bird's nest right there, and I'm terrible at hitting it. So let's give it a shot. Oh, a second try. That's my best. This is like the best protection. Between this and if you went to the inn and put things in your universal chest, those are like the most protected storage. If you had things on your horse, say stolen from Betty or Radovan, because you know Radovan and the Miller will be right here, and then you get in a fist fight, then it would get taken from you, and then you'd end up at the pillory with nothing. So, but you can get a ton of books. Try to get these keys. There's these books that may or may not be risky to grab with him here while you smell, but you can get them later. They're there.
Excellent.
But then you can come up here and just open the door. work on your scholarship. There's this one too, Art of the Sword. That'll be handy. And I think you can open this too. Burger's Hunting Sword if you want that. Some more Groshen.
Hey, what are you doing here? You're not allowed.
Enough.
It won't let me open it?
Do this the hard way then.
He almost killed me. Close the door. That was the problem. I left the door open because I was just trying to show you. That mishap aside, we can now go back for Tomcat training. We're just going to do the rest of this in red because I don't feel like redoing it. So if you want pebbles, stop here on your way back to the Nomad camp, talk to the groom, and ask about a cheap horse. And then just use your speech. You see we're at 14. I've been at 12 and it's worked. And if you want to keep her tack, you're going to want to go to her horse page, just take everything off of it, and then just put everything back on it. Don't fall off your horse and get killed, especially if you got hurt even more than the 20 health you were left with. Jump back over the fence, and you'll see Tomcat now is chilling right here, ready to do some stuff. I'm going to go grab a few apples to try to get this red off my face. Perfect. All right, look at that. So we got a ton of health now. Then here we go. Here's the main show. This is what you came here for. So Tomcat, just tell him he's interesting. He's going to go in the arena. We can do this naked, as you see. I've had some variants on this. I'm using a controller and a mouse at the same time. I've had it where I can't pull my sword out with my mouse, which is what's happening right now. And I've had it where it automatically pulls it out. It's kind of weird. Now, if I use my controller, so if you have a controller, pressing for the Xbox style, it's X, otherwise it's what, square. For some reason that works, but on my keyboard and mouse situation, what, B is the quick items, and then 1, 2, none of those are working. I don't know what it is. So if you don't have a controller and for some reason it bugs on you and you can't pull your sword out, you can still punch them and it's going to work fine. So you'll get unarmed, right? So this is me just hitting them. But there's this delay built in, which is what's actually going to help us out. If you have issues and you keep getting too close to him and for some reason it won't let you hit him, what I found has worked is you want to get him here, this spot. Grab my mouse again. So, you've got this big pit right here. You want to go not this line, but this line. This is where you want him. So he's going to come here and then just line him up there and then just start hitting him. You'll back him up into it. Just keeps backing you away just enough that you shouldn't have any issues getting to hit him over and over again. You could do this unarmed here, and you'll get unarmed skill along with your strength. But if you have the sword out, and maybe you can't even put the sword away, it happens. Hitting him is going to do the thing. You see, perform the natural combo. He's going to ask you to do a different combo after this. With this horizontal slice, you use your auto clicker now. He's never going to go from the top, so you're never going to complete this. And you can just keep doing it this way. He'll complain.
This was also a technique.
You can just do this as long as you want, and then if you need to take a break to eat and restore energy and whatnot, you can just give up. And you can come back and ask him to do it again. So if you want, stealth is so easy. You can do it in Troskevitz at the tavern up in the top floor before you pick up any bags. That's, I think, the trigger. Once you start carrying bags, the clock is ticking. Unfortunately, you can't really AFK that because you gotta walk back and forth. So it's up to you how much you want to do on the agility front. You'll get some agility from fighting too. So if you wait on the stealth, then you can reassess when you're at the tavern how long you got to go to max out your agility. But that should be good. Vitality, agility, and strength maxed out. All the books from the scribe. The speech is always the hardest, just like the first game. So, is what it is. Hopefully that helps. Good luck on your run, buddy.